to come and sensitize the bar owners. Why this instruction has been made? Because they are taxpayers and some of them have already stocked numerous products in their bars. But now they are saying that they are going to respect this instruction because this is government directive. Others are saying from morning to 3 p.m. is quite a long period of time. This should be reduced to at least midday. But of course, they are saying that they will remain. Here is that the bar owners, especially social drinking joints in Jumani district, when I spoke to quite a number of them, are saying that they have not been consulted, but they want them to be sensitized on how they should go about their businesses because they are important taxpayers in the value chain of the economic growth of Uganda. Tracy and the viewers, we wait to see if the bar owners are going to heed to this instruction because you can visibly see behind me others are already doing their routines and they are waiting for official communication from the respective district local governments or the town council authority. Back to you at the political command center.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Martin Okudi. The directive is out. The implementation and the enforcement is something we certainly must keep track of and see how this all plays out. You're looking at Honorable Minister for Local Government, Balaam Barugahara, who did issue out a directive. Now, we also wonder if during his routine visits, he'll be paying a courtesy call to some of the bar owners. Tell us what you think about this particular directive across our social media handles. If you're looking at this kind of economy and what this truly means for those that were working the morning shift, but also what happens to bars that have restaurants, that have other businesses next to them is a totally different kind of worms. We want to now head to the areas of Mubende and join, there you go, Sewaje, Tera Machama Runji, Twagala okubuuzaako n'abatuuze b'e Mubende. Ekiteeso kino ekya Minisita Balaam Barugahara, bannamubende bo bakyaniriza batya?
Tracy wasuze otya n'abatulaba ku NBS. Kaakati wano wendi ndi ku kyalo kye bayita Kibaati. Ekyalo kino kye kimu ku byalo ebisingako okubeera baganda baffe abawoomerwa akenge. Era bano boolaba wano wentuukiddewo okubabuuza nti oba ekiteeso baakiwulidde, buli omu abadde atuwa nsonga ya njawulo era abamu nga n'eccupa bazikutte mu ngalo olunaku olwaleero nga bagamba nti bo ensonga baaziwulidde naye essaawa 9 ziri wala nnyo. Kakati nsooka naawe ekiteeso kya Minisita Balaam babagambye okutandika okuggulawo ebbaala, okutandika okunywa ssaawa 9. Mwe ekiteeso kyo mukyogerako ki?
Nze ngazo ow'ekitiibwa n'asaba ekiteeso ky'essaawa 9 tekijja kukkirizibwa. Nze nkigaanye nga nze kalemalema waabwe ntambuza muggo ntule waka obudde ne bukola ki nekwewaka obudde ne bukola ki nempenga kwewaka nengamba wayi kantambuleko mu bannange nange nyoke mu bannange bwe mpaka wala gye nenywako mba muki mba mutuufu kubanga bwe ntule waka nange nkola ki nebowayo nenkowa kyensaba kintu kimu saa 9 ze mutuwadde ziri wala nnyo okitegedde ninda okubeera ssaawa 6 tutandika okunywa netukola ki netukoma ssaawa 6 ogw'ekiro netumalaga kiwe.
Webale nnyo jangu semberako waneene nseekulabe oli butereevu ku NBS twagala kumanya ssaawa 9 gwokkanya nazo ng'omuntu.
Kati nga nze ssaawa 9 siyinza kukkaanya nazo kuba nze ndi kabaaya ndi mutembeyi nina okumala okuteekako kallo nendyoka okugenda okunoonya akasente bulungi nakati njagala kukateekako ngende kukola.
Nyinza okutuuka nga naye muli mu kuyiwayo mmwe mukola ddi emirimu?
Anti era kallo ke nkugambye kati kabaaya abeera mutembeyi mbadde ndi mu kuteekako olwo ngende mu katale kukola.
Webale nnyo kakati jangu ndabye ono yeewuuno n'eccupa agikutte Tracy n'abatulaba ku NBS ndabye oli mu kuyiwayo twagala kumanya ono okufuna ddi amaanyi agakola ng'okedde kuwuuta leka akukwatira omuzinda tunula wali mu kamera atemberako na wano weewati enseekulabe.
Anti kati emmotoka teyinza tutambula nga teyina mafuta sooka kuyiwayo ndi kawenja ow'ebicupa
nalo na mutima kali bwenjuwa yake ebitaano munnange nenfunayo ebicupa byange nenfunayo 2,000 nenkomawo nenfunayo ebitaano nenfunayo 2,000 naye bwe essaawa 9 bweze mungamba munnange kati mugambe nabo omwenge bagukola essaawa 9 tuyeza afande Tracy tulinako waneno omuyambi wa RDC ku nsonga za Mubende municipality Minister Balamu yategezeza nti no ensonga zino ekiragiro kino mu mugendo kiteekesa mu nkola twagala kumanya nteekateeka kije mulina okulaba nga otuuse mbatuuze ab'ekibuga Mubende obalabye endowooza baziwadde owulira tutandikira abafande
kisooka abatulaba n'abatuwuliriza tubalamusiza basaba ne bannyabo amannya nze Benoni Tebyasanga nze omumyuka wa RDC atwala ekibuga kino eky'Omubende ekisooka twaniriza ekiteeso ekyo ekyazze kubanga kyazze lwa bulungi bwa ggwanga ekisooka buvunaanyizibwa waffe ng'abakulembeze okuinforminga community oba okuinforminga public oba ategeeza nti ekiragiro ekyo kyazze lwa bubi ne lwa byankulaakulana ya ggwanga because otunya minisita engeri gy'adde ayogeramu yalaze nti abantu bannyo bakeera mu mwenge nekibalemesa okukola kati nga yagala abantu batandika essaawa 9 n'amaze okukolako product okulabika nti tukulaakulanya economy okwambusa economy yaffe ng'eggwanga n'olwekyo obuvunaanyizibwa bwaffe nga security obuvunaanyizibwa bwaffe nga baliida kwe kulabika nti tujja wansi eno ne tusensitizinga abantu bano kyekisooka ekirala tusensitizinga community leaders because okussa ekiragiro ekyo mu nkola si kyangu nnyo kyekisooka naye nga security tugenda kuengaginga communities naddala abakulembeze kubanga kati wano mu Kibaati waliwo chairman C1 chairman C2 waliwo C3 obingaginga waleke nti bengaginga abantu wano boogera nabo obasensitizinga n'obulungi bwakyo because abantu tebaategedde kigendera ki ekiri emabega w'ekyo n'ekigendera ekiri emabega kyakulaakulanya ggwanga lyaffe tekyabadde mu bubi era nsaba bannange bannakibaati batuuze bannaffe abawangalira wano minisita temulaba mu bubi ekiragiro obwedda abampuli abantu ekiragiro kya miini biki no ekisinga obukulu kulaakulanya ggwanga lyaffe abantu batandika okunywa omwenge oba okosa ebitamiiza ku ssaawa 9 naye tugenda basensitizinga era nkakasa nti wiiki weneggwerako buli muntu ajja kuba ategedde obulungi bw'ekiragiro ekyo
tuyanze ge Tracy kakati no ze ndowooza z'abannamubende obawuliddeko nga bagamba nti abamu bakyagamba nti baagala kwogera naye olw'ensonga yakadde akkiriza Tracy nkomewo gy'oli ku political command center ate tugende ebitundu by'eggwanga ebyenjawulo Mubende yo bwetyo bweri eno ye Kibaati wenyinza okugamba nti kakati eno y'ensibuko y'abawoomerwa ebidde nkomyewo gy'oli Tracy twongereyo
tweyanziza Fred Sewajje ate ebyo birowoozo byannaba bantu b'e Mubende. It is an interesting one in terms of the reactions that are coming in from various parts of the country. We're looking at the directive by Minister Balamu Barugahara to have bars only open from the hour of 3 p.m. No drinking in the morning, no bars open in the morning. And that is a conversation we are checking in with across the country. Zainab Namsazi is also on our radar, bringing in the thoughts and the reactions of the people of Masaka. Greater Masaka, Boba Chiroza Kochi, ekiteeso cha Minister Balamu Barugahara. Bannamubende sibasanyufu n'akamu katono naye katulabe bo bannamasaka kino ekiteeso bakirowozaako ki. Zainab.
Nanza Tracy nomero wa NBS TV njaga kutegeeza nti no nakulegro nasobodo okubeera nga ate njogako n'abamu ku bannamasaka wabulanga abasinga obungi naddala babali mu bizinesi y'okutunda ebitamiiza nga si basanyufu na kiteeso kino eno era nga awamu n'abo ababiwoomerwa babadde nabo bawanda muliro wabula mukadde kanonogola bandi naye y'omu ku bakulembeze mu disitulikiti y'e Bukomansimbi ng'era sipiika wa disitulikiti eyo ye kaatubuulire bo nga abakulembeze ekiteeso kino baakiwuliddeko era beeteefuteefu okukiteekesa mu nkola. Spika tukwaniza ku NBS Utimbe gagadde ekiteeso kya Minister Balamu ekyokukoma okutunda omwenge ssaawa 9 ez'emisana mwenga abakulembeze mu Bukomansimbi mwakiwuliddeko.
Okusookera ddala neyanza nnyo neyanzeege kubeera ku TV eno ku makya gano yakulamusaako abaweereza mwenna ate n'abatulaba. Minister Balamu eggulo yayisiza ekiragiro ebiragiro si kiragiro naye nga ebimu ku biragiro ebyabaddemu mwabaddemu ekiragiro kya amabaala n'abatunda ebitamiiza byonna okutandika essaawa 9 mu nnaku ez'okukola kuba yayogedde mu nnaku ez'okukola. Mu kiragiro ekyo mulimu n'abatunda ebitamiiza obutaguza abaana abali wansi w'emyaka 18 Ffe nga Bukomansimbi okusookera ddala njala kwebaza minisita emirimu gy'akola. Naye ndowooze minisita ayinamu ku speed. Okusookera ddala tewali tteeka lifuga kunywa mwenge mu Uganda. Tiririiyo ne bw'obikula mu constitution. Bagezezaako parliament okuleeta etteeka naye buli alireeta ligenda mu kasero kubanga abandi badde baliwagira ate bammemba eno kati beesanga nga tebasobola kuliisa bibaleetedde ebizibu. Ebiragiro ebyo bifaanana bwe bityo olumu biyita naye tibiba na legal background nti tugenda kutandika tujja kweranga ku lw'omukaaga olusembayo. Tibakola analysis abantu abaayira ku lw'omukaaga olwo twayira baali batono nnyo okusinga abaasigala mu mayumba gaabwe. Kati titubeera effective. Ebbaala ekyo njagala kuyimira okutegeeza atulaba n'oyo atuwuliriza nti tikisobokerako ddala. Era ndi mu kumusaba Mukama waffe nti mu bintu byakola batulenga oboolyawo balowooze. Omwenge kye kimu ku kyetunze ekivaamu omusolo omunene mu ggwanga lyaffe Uganda. Eggwanga lyonna ate n'ebitundu gye tubeera. Ekyokubiri, olina abantu b'ogenda okulemesa okubaako bye bakola nga gw'oyogera essaawa 9. Ye takimanyi nti mulimu abantu abakera obukeezi okukola nga gwe mulimo gwe bakola, abayagala balagewa. Mu nnyinnyonnyola ye yagambye nti nno bakendeeza obumenyi bw'amateeka n'ebirala. Nze nyina obukakafu nti abamenyi b'amateeka ate si be batamiivu. Ekyokubiri, drive gy'abaddeko egy'okulwanyisa enguzi. Abanyoome nga te si be bali enguzi. Simanyi lwaki amaaso gaabwe gazibye nnyo okutunuulira awali abali b'enguzi abatuufu ogende ku bintu bya bulijjo abantu gye beewummulira. Eggwanga lino lina ekizibu ky'emirimu. Abantu abasinga afuna akantu n'agira ne yeebuzaabuza naye nakyera kamujjukize akimanye kuba yayinza okuba nga tabeeramu ffeeno. Waliyo abantu n'ewaabwe gye babeera mu ofiisi ennene ng'omwenge gwayogerako kye kimu ku fakita emuwa omuntu omu mu ofiisi okukola emirimu gye. Gye bali nga tanywedde nga tasobola kukola. N'olwekyo njagala kutegeeza eggwanga nga nsinzire Bukomansimbi wano ewaffe nti okusookera ddala okiteekesa mu nkola ffe ng'abakulembeze kiyinza tuzibuwalira okujjako nga ye yazze n'akiteekesa mu nkola. Ekyokubiri, simanyi na paramita gy'agenda kukozesa kuba kizibu muko. Okeera otya ku makya ogende ng'onoonya amabaala. Amabaala kati gajja mu mayumba g'abantu. Onaategeera otya ababeera mu nnyumba eyo. Tomanyi ba family member osanga bali mu 10 ne batuula eyo ne bakola ebyo bye bakola. Nze nyina okulowooza nti omukulu alinamu speed. Omukulu alinamu speed n'abantu batetenkanya nabo ne balowooza nabyo by'okukola. Ebintu ebimu tugenda kumaliriza ng'ebiragiro bingi naye nga tewali kikoleddwa. Mu biragiro byayisiza mulimu betting, awo onyinza okuwuliziganya naye kuba betting tizirina nnyo by'amaanyi. Naye bwe nti oli mu kugaana abantu amabaala okugulawo essaawa ku makya gagulewo ssaawa 9 bakeere bakole. Nedda ffe Bukomansimbi tuli bakozi. Eggwanga njagala ditegeeza nti ffe tuli bakozi era omwenge gwali mu kwogerako ffe tegulina effect. Maybe mu regions endala nga gye balina ebizibu eby'omwenge nti gubaganya okukola bali bubi nnyo. Waffe tuli balimi, abantu bakola emirimu gyabwe. In fact bw'anaabaze Bukomansimbi njagala gy'akole sample ajja kukizuula ng'omwenge abantu gwe batunda nebula tigwina na buzibu okujjako bayamba okutambuza emirimu gyabwe obulungi. Neyanza nnyo neyanzeeko.
Speaker naffe tweyanza nnyo okubeera ng'oyogerako naffe. Ono Speaker wa disitulikiti y'e Bukomansimbi era ebigambo bibyenga omuntu bamuyita James Muhabwa. Njaga okutegeeza Tracy nti embeera bwetyo bweri naye ng'era mu Bukomansimbi ne mu Greater Masaka yonna okutwaliza wamu abantu si basanyufu na tteeka eryo. Tracy kankoma mu Political Command Center na kiragiro ekyo kankoma mu Political Command Center Tracy.
Tweyanziza Zainab Namsazi. We are gathering different reactions from local leaders and of course from Ugandans on what they think about Minister Barambargahara's directive. Now, the Directive on Local Government Transparency, Public Accountability, Community Productivity and Regulation of Alcohol and Betting Operations is what it was named. It was sent to all LC5 chairpersons, city mayors, division mayors and council speakers. It did talk about allowing a press access to all council seatings, and that is something he did speak about. He also wrote about the display of approved budgets on the main council notice board being part of this directive. And then thirdly, he talked about protect persons under 18 years from alcohol use. And then he also spoke of a stop early morning alcohol consumption. Local leaders should take the lead in discouraging early morning alcohol consumption and work with security agencies and enforcement teams to ensure that bars and alcohol outlets do not operate in a manner that encourages people to spend their morning drinking instead of working. This is intended to address idleness, family problems, and the rising crime associated with excessive alcohol consumption in some communities, while promoting a productive and responsible population. That is exactly what he talked about. And then, of course, we are looking at bars and Marwa joints should open after 3 p.m. on working days. Well, we want to get to Fort Portal and join Julius Nalmanya Kike. Very good morning. Many thanks for joining us. The people of Fort Portal, the directive is out. Is it already being enforced? Has it met resistance? What is the reaction from Fort Portal?
Very good morning. Here in Fort Portal Tourism City, it is a mixed reaction. Some support the directive, others don't. Those who don't support the directive have their reasons, and those who, of course, support as well, they have their reasons. But this morning, I decided to talk to the owners of the bars, and where I'm coming to you live from is Diplomat's Lounge, one of the biggest one and one of the busiest here in Fort Portal City. My reason for being here is to speak to the proprietors to get to understand what is their take on this directive. The person with me here is Kenneth Onana, the manager of this very bar. I want to speak to him to tell us about their take. You know the directive. What is your take?
Of course, we as management of Diplomat Launch, so when we had this, of course, it has caused us as a management, because Tichirunji kufe, in a business wise, wogenda olowooza mwengere bintu bye tuyitamu as a management running amabala, leave alone we have a bar, we also have a restaurant, and mostly it's single kutuluma nti nisono kubaza orutoro nti we employ many people, abantu abatukozesa abana b'obwisiki, abana b'obwojo. Now, like Diplomacy Lounge, we have more than 50 people that we are working with. So it means rini iteko bulekobalizire batusazira obwire nti n'abana abatukozesa ntubanke maisa nabo ntugenda kubasara enamba etukozesa. Now, for example, we have more than 50 people that are working with us as we Diplomacy Lounge. So ntubanke maisa rini iteko bulekobalizire ndija kutwikaraho muno kugara business yetu hansi eta nti abana tubere ntubasasura omusara.
Wait mbere mukora from morning up to somewhere.
Like not that. I think soko bantu kingora nkasaha mukaga nobwiro bukweyongerayo bitati iteko buli kwija nsaha mwenda ntimbo tukingora amabara nkibanke manyisa nti abana na abakozi bona mbaja kutoraga sazinga saa mwenda nti business wise nkija kutwikara muno yitu entasha, leave alone that tuine misoro ya URA, tuine misoro ya City Council for them baja kuba batakumanya nti government yakaleta kikinu ekintu. So business wise government na ine kuikara nkaye kabanze katekereze karora URA ete kuja kubazalike kitu kizire sazun and City Council. So ni saba government ningiterero muranga nti we go through a lot in this business. Of course things are not easy on our side, but together leave alone that we employ people, more than 50 people we employ here at Diplomacy Lounge.
So ntumarize songa ibakuha no kunywa maru akara abantu bakarga mirimo bakakora iwe kino cyagira kwa abantu batakora bari ahananka umubara n'abanywa mwenge.
Of course ekintu ekitinki hagira tikiri kirungi and ekintu ekitikiri mazima nti
as long as you make money.
Yeah, of course money na government na ine dash shikengere kintu eki but tukuligama ndio bwire bwanye ntakara ito mubara yitu ebara tujikinga obwiro kusinga wingi sai 12 za nyentakara kujikingura official tujikingura nti akusanga ito twine ebintu ebindi nka restaurant abantu omuntu asokwija abaine meetings mbenda ko kunywa kaka juice mbenda kulya nka lunch ebintu nkebi.
Okay. So to you iteka kabandize rinda
iteka ni nsaba banze balindemo babanze bayikare balitekerezeho balitangaze kurungi kubasokolera bya mu mazima matufu.
Thank you so much for being with us this morning, sir. This is now the response from Kenneth, the manager of this Diplomat's Lounge, and the other hotels where I went to this morning, they have similar response. He was trying to say they have over 50 staff here, and they have different businesses here in the bar. They don't sell alcohol alone, they sell alcohol food. So they said for them in the early morning hours, they have been selling other products, not necessarily alcohol. But when they say they should not open, that means their other businesses will be closed. That's what he's trying to mean. He also proposed that if government was taking an initiative to come and consult them so that they harmonize on how to go about it would be better. That is it from Fort Portal. And to the directive, it's me who was informing them, but now we're on our.
Well, there you have Julius Navimanya with the thoughts of bar proprietors from Fort Portal. It's a mixed bag in terms of the reactions coming in from the clientele to the proprietors and, of course, the authorities. That exactly is what you get on NBS Morning Breeze. By a reminder of what actually the directive is all about and what the details are in this particular document. Well, you have one, like we said, allow press access to all council sittings. Away from that, he did speak about all councils should allow members of the press access to council sittings just as Parliament allows media access to its proceedings. This is intended to promote transparency, accountability and public awareness, enabling citizens to follow debates, decisions and the conduct of public business in their respective local governments. Now, the second point was a display approved budgets on the main council notice board. Now, he did say all local governments shall display their approved budgets on the main council notice board and other accessible public notice boards. This will enable members of the public to know what has been budgeted for their respective areas and follow up on the implementation of projects and services, thereby promoting people-led audits, transparency and accountability. The third point is protect persons under 18 years from alcohol, bar owners, shop owners and operators of marwa joints or other alcohol selling establishments who sell or supply alcohol to persons under 18 years of age should be arrested and prosecuted in accordance with the law. That exactly is where you have it. A very interesting one right there. Stop early morning alcohol consumption. Local leaders should take the lead in discouraging early morning alcohol consumption and work with security agencies and enforcement teams to ensure that bars and alcohol outlets do not operate in the manner that encourages people to spend their mornings drinking instead of working. This is intended to address idleness, family problems, and the rising crime associated with excessive alcohol consumption in some communities while promoting a productive and responsible population. And there you have it. Bars and marwa joints should open after 3 p.m. on working days, subject to applicable national laws, licensing requirements, and lawful local government regulations. Enforce lawful operating hour directives. Bars and alcohol outlets that repeatedly defy lawful operating hour directives should be closed, and appropriate enforcement action should be taken against persistent offenders in accordance with the law. He also did speak about regulating the betting operating hours with the aim of protecting communities, particularly young people, from harmful practices associated with excessive betting, and also have implementation and enforcement. He has called upon joint security teams, council enforcement officers and other relevant authorities to support local governments in the implementation and enforcement of these directives. Signed off by Baram Bargahara, the Minister for, there you have it, local government. Assisted Her Excellency the Vice President and many others in this particular directive. But a very interesting one right there. And speaking of that, we want to cross over to Next Radio and find out just what I think about this particular directive. The team in Morning Switch are ready to share with us just what the vibe is over there.
Tracy, good morning, girl.
Very good mornings. The energy for me, you guys, are just fantastic.
And this is all for you, by the way.
This is all for you. Tracy, good morning.
It's a very good morning. Does the accent come with the sheds?
How did you know?
The future is too bright. He had to dim a bit.
Yeah. So the directive is out here to bite.
Yeah.
Yes. What do you think of
what is Balam saying?
Balam is saying no one should be in the bar before 3 p.m.
Before 3
You
p.m.
people, you kept calling it minister. I think someone called minister.
So he's saying we should start going out after 3 p.m.
If you are going to the bar, particularly, or a marwa joint, it should be 3 p.m. onwards.
So does that also mean we can't have Holy Communion?
Pardon?
Yes, because we might be having just Holy Communion.
Yes.
Really, not,
What if I'm going to the bar for a meeting?
What if I'm taking a soda? Who is inspecting what I'm drinking?
But also, them saying no to going to the bar, are they also quite particular on what should be consumed?
A bar, if you identify as a bar and you sell alcoholic drinks, you can only open from 3 p.m. On working days, particularly on working days.
I might open when I'm stock taking.
Stock taking for breakfast.
They will be doing random checks. You better be stock taking with no clients. On a working day.
So how are they going to separate bar from lounges, from hotels, restaurants?
And meeting areas?
It's going to be a big task right there.
Baram Baram. And I want to say this on national radio and on TV. Honestly, listen. No, guys, sometimes these are things we never talk about.
Yes.
Honestly speaking, you have to think about the people.
Yes.
Like, how does Balaam come up to do or give such a directive this late? It should have come before.
Before what?
Earlier. Should have come way earlier.
At the start of the year.
Balaam, you are doing well. I'm telling you.
It had to come as a New Year resolution.
Yes, you are doing well.
My question is, are we exempted on public holidays? Can people start earlier?
We have said in 3 p.m.
They said on working days.
Ashati.
Working days.
I'm here thinking all of you need prayer. Why are we arguing this?
Good morning.
Brought to you by Cadbury. There's a glass and a half in everyone. T's and C's apply.
Hey, travelers. Are you a family gearing up for that big vacation, a hustler working abroad coming home, or your squad chasing sunsets and passport stamps? It's time you lock in. Say goodbye to long airport queues, shocking roaming bills, and the stress of hunting for local SIM cards, because now you can travel local. Stay connected in over 180 countries. Just scan, tap, and boom. Instant data the moment you reach your destination. Get your Rogue Travel eSIM today at travel.roguetelecom.co.ug. Contact us on 020-5000123.
The National Mosquito Net Distribution Campaign is back. No one should die of malaria in this era. It is your responsibility to chase malaria from your home. The good news is that the government of Uganda has once again started distribution of mosquito nets under the 5th Universal Coverage Campaign, also known as the Under the Net campaign. Under this exercise, 1 mosquito net will be distributed per 2 people in every household. A village health team member, a community health extension worker, also known as a CHU, and the LC1 chairperson will move house to house to register members of the household in preparation for receiving their mosquito nets. Do not lie back. Ensure that you register all your household members to receive a mosquito net. On the distribution date, move to your distribution point and receive your net. Mosquito nets protect you and your family members from infectious mosquito bites that lead to malaria. Ensure that you receive the net, hang the net, and sleep under the net every night.
Did you know? Brought to you by
Fake spare parts can be deceiving. They seem cheaper, they seem good enough, they get you moving for now, but what you don't see is the hidden cost damage to your car, endless repairs, wasted time off the road, and potential risk to lives. In the long run, fake parts cost you more. Choose genuine parts from any CFA or mobility location countrywide.
Did you know? Brought to you by
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mu mutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, endungu ya kusabula. We gonna do free on fire, free on fire, free on fire. Surrender today and spread those smiles, please.
NBS Tonight, brought to you by
What does it take to transform 4 enclosed rooms into a seamless, sophisticated space? We go inside a remarkable interior transformation.
I had a vision of having a showroom that has a living room, a bedroom. So when I came here, my vision came to reality.
Then, residential versus commercial. Which one really delivers a stronger return?
The underlying thing is to understand what return are you getting.
And in Imienga, we take you inside Amethyst Residence on Tank Hill Road and explore the vision and investment case behind this new development with HK Properties.
We found that there is a demand for 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, which we wanted to fulfill.
I'm Dr. Lawrence, Vice Chancellor of Victoria University. Right now, the world is being rewritten, and I want to show you exactly how. Artificial intelligence has already changed how we work, how we learn, and how we live. It's not coming, it's here. And the question every parent should be asking is your child's university moving with it or being left behind? Take education. This used to be the classroom. Chalkboards, rows of desks, one voice at the front of the room. Now, this is the classroom at Victoria University. AI tutors, real-time feedback, every student learning at the speed of their own brilliance. Healthcare is next. This is how diagnosis used to work. Slow, manual, guesswork. This is how our students train today. AI-powered diagnostics, simulation labs, predicting illness before symptoms even appears. This is the future of medicine, and it's being taught right here in Uganda. It doesn't stop there. The way we bank, the way we farm, the way we build, AI is quietly rewriting every single one. And East Africa cannot afford to watch from the sidelines. So if you're a parent and you want your son or daughter to lead, not follow, this new world, ask yourself, where should they be? At Victoria University, our students don't just learn about AI, they build with it every single day. Victoria University is not just adapting to the age of AI, we are leading it. The leading university in artificial intelligence in Uganda and across East Africa. The future is already being built. The only question is, will your child help build it? Victoria University, where Africa's AI future begins. Apply today.
This is not just a run. This is a movement with purpose. Join us on 30th August 2026 at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds for the Cancer Run 2026. Starting at 6 a.m. Also taking place simultaneously in other districts across Uganda for the completion of the One-Stop Cancer Center at Nsambya Hospital. Registration is only 30,000 Ugandan shillings online using Gonza Pay. Gates are available at all Centenary Bank branches, Capital Shoppers outlets, Bread House branches, the Cancer Run office on Zimwa Road, Muyenga, the Rotary Uganda office at Nick Building, and Rotary clubs across the country. The Rotary Cancer Run 2026 is organized in partnership with the Parliament of Uganda, Centenary Bank, Crystal Water, and
NBS Sport, championing Ugandan sport.
Are you planning an event? Think of X Events. For the best photography and videography of all kinds, we believe that every moment is worth capturing. Whether Kwanjula, weddings, Kuhinjira, bringing out the culture and glamour. And of course, a professional team that has mastered the art of the game and progear with elegance. X Events is located along Rubaga Road on Access Building opposite Hotel Sojavalo. X Events, capturing your precious moments.
Kumulembe kuna abakozi bachayambala ebintu ebyo bisambala bannannyini makolero si kampuni abakozi mubafunire uniforms eziri ku mulembe okuva mu George Color Solutions banyirire bafulume mu material ne design ebiriko ate nga kuliko n'akabonero ka kampuni yo olwo business babantu mu maaso bagimanye tosubwa campaign eno omulamu akugamba nti stand out mu uniform yo ne George Color Solutions bali ku Prime Complex ku Johnson Street shop number C24 esimu noti 7772 45 91 mwenda wamune ku www.judcolorsolutions.com.
You need to lead without needing limelight.
Without?
Needing limelight. Wow. And to me, that was the first thing I was able, because you talked about introvert. You know what introverts are. We're always in our own bubble doing everything. I believe I was at that job for almost a year plus, and no one knew that I was at that job. Yes. But the kind of service I was able to give is what mattered most. So I started having to have the impact by people able to make comments. If you want to go to that office and be supported, look out for Irene Birungi Mugisha. So that was my first point.
But did you know that, though? Did you know when you got into the job, did you know that the best way for you to serve was not to need limelight, or you just got to know about later?
One, again, not everyone is the same. If someone else maybe got that position, one, it was a position that was customized when I joined. That position was never there. Yeah. So it was customized. So I needed to do my part, study the role. Yes. What did the role have its feet in? Study the role of my supervisor. And this is a nugget I want to give everyone who's watching and viewing your program. Yes. If you're at a workplace or doing anything, study the job description or the mandate of your supervisor and work towards achieving that mandate. And when you're doing it, that means you need to work in a subtle way that does not bring out that, oh, actually it's not Dr. Shamim. That show was about, it was Irene who hosted it. Yeah. So to me, it was the first point that I needed to do by doing my own investigations and my own prep and my own research. That for my supervisor, I needed to be 3 steps ahead of her every single time. And so when it came to even the CEO of this country, I needed to be even more 3 steps ahead of him. Because
I'm getting scared
when you're in a meeting, look here, because you attending to his itinerary, attending to his schedules, you're attending to making minutes, you're attending to all those things that make his work very clear.
Okay.
And so if you're going for a meeting, have you done research on that meeting? Who is meeting him? Why are they meeting him? Have you done even anything else that has been able to be prepped for his attention? So it is being able to do things that allow impact to be seen but not in the limelight.
Every tricolor flag tells a story. Every anthem stirs a memory. Every Independence Day reminds us of the courage, sacrifice, and unwavering spirit that shaped a nation. This 79th India Independence Day, celebrate with Radio Wala by sharing your personalized Independence Day message across Radio Wala, Next Radio, and NBS TV, reaching thousands across Uganda and beyond. Join us in honoring the spirit of freedom while showcasing your brand as part of this meaningful celebration. Special India Independence Day advertising packages start from 1 million Uganda shillings. Reserve your spot today. Call or WhatsApp 0774 290 800. Radio Wala. Let's play.
NBS Television brings you two unforgettable dramas. Mondays and Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Step into Honorables, where every laugh hides a secret, every conversation has a movie, and behind the doors of a bustling Kampala bar, politics and ordinary lives collide. Then on Wednesday and Thursday at 8 p.m., it's Socialites, a world of fame, friendship, ambition, and betrayal, where every post has a price and every choice can change a life. 2 gripping stories, 4 unforgettable nights. Honorables, Socialites, only on NBS Television. Always.
Now these will affect our households, it will affect our economic well-being in the farms, it will affect governance. So that's why information received should be factual. So dismiss fake news.
Well, a very good morning. Welcome back. It is a topical discussion. This morning, we're looking at the state of Uganda's political parties and asking what does the future hold. With me in studio, I have Asman Basarira, Honorable, who is the president of JEMA. We also have Honorable Masho Alenyo, who is the MP for Jonam County. These gentlemen join me in discussing what political parties are all about, what the future holds for Ugandans. But pertinently, we also ask, do they matter? And gentlemen, a very good morning. Many thanks for joining us on Topical Discussion. It's a pleasure to have you. If we could just get directly into the question, and I want to start with the Honorable Asman Basarira. Political parties, first and foremost, do they matter?
Well, definitely they do.
Why?
Political parties are vehicles of democracy. You cannot talk about a democratic dispensation without political parties. And that's why even the countries that we look to in terms of democracy have political parties. You know, in Africa or in the developing world, we like quoting the US, you know, the UK,
the standard measure,
and all these other countries. Their democracies are built on firm foundations of political parties. And I think democracy is absent in the absence of political parties. So you cannot wish them away. Even in Africa, when you look at countries that have advanced, either economically or politically, they are really based on firm foundations of political parties. Here you can talk about countries like South Africa, our neighbors. You can talk about, Kenya, countries like Ghana, those that have advanced economically and politically. So my answer is that political parties are actually relevant and necessary.
Relevant and necessary is where the Honorable Osman draws it. Honorable Marshall, are you of the same view?
Yeah, I think ultimately political parties are the midwife of democracy all across Africa. If you see the story of Africa and political parties, the first political party in Africa was in 1869, I think 1869, in Liberia. When the slaves got free, were brought up, they needed a political clout. They made Africa's first political party. Though, in terms of movement and activity, the ANC of 1912 is considered one of the most old active political parties in Africa. But political parties have had a role. They have had a timing. They always come to solve something specific in society. And yeah, I think political parties have a say in society.
After the just concluded election cycle, you can also understand why the skepticism with the political parties that we have. We've had profiles that are bigger than political parties, even in the just concluded elections. And so the question is, in today's political terrain, where are we as political parties, Honorable Marshall?
Well, political parties are doing great, according to me. The NRM, for example, the political party I subscribe to, and I was sent here by the Secretary General of the PLU. We are under NRM. We are a group within the NRM, of course. We're not a political party. We are a patriotic offshoot of the NRM. We believe in political parties. The NRM is a solid political party. It has an alliance with the Wananchi. It is a result of a cry of society. It's not a desktop political party. It's People's Political Party, and that's how it came, and that's how it has been trying to solve the problems. And after the elections of 2026, you can now evidently see that the NRM has come. I'm not the spokesman of the NRM, but I can say that it has tried to solve issues. It has come up and it has set its sight in lifting Uganda up to the 500 billion economy. It is the president's cry now.
Honorable Marshall, we will get into the conversation of why, if it is indeed a solid political party, then you have, the likes of PLU, a pressure group, or what you allude to in this particular case, or, the impact of that on the political party itself. But Honorable Basadira, when you look at the political parties, particularly from the opposition point of view, many asking, are political parties building institutions strong at the grassroots, able to actually deliver on their mandate to the many Ugandans, especially if you're talking about the democratic processes we have, or do they just prepare for an election cycle? And after that election cycle is done, there's no political party activity whatsoever.
You see, if you want to understand the strength or relevance of political parties in Uganda currently, you cannot divorce it from the political atmosphere under which we operate. And anybody who thinks opposition political parties can do miracles in the current, political environment, I think is being unfair to political parties. You need to understand the NRM and the NRM, NRA, and Mr. Museveni in particular, did not open up political space because they actually loved the political parties. If you've been critically following the politics of this country, when the NRA, NRM came to power in 1986, their first legal instrument was called Legal Notice No. 1, and it banned political parties. In 2005, when political parties were eventually opened up, political space, Mr. Museveni said that he was tired of going to the West. And each time he was in the West, they would ask him why political parties are locked up. And he was tired of that question. So he said, let's open up to Vejeko. Actually, that's the term he used, to Vejeko. So that tells you that the political will from the NRM leadership to have free open space is actually lacking. It's the reason why, for example, they are to enact the Public Order Management Act. And by the way, the Public Order Management Act provisions that restrict association freedoms were declared unconstitutional. But as we speak now, you cannot hold a political meeting as a political party. The only time, by the way, you can have some semblance of association of freedom. The only time is actually during election time. That's why opposition political parties appear to be active during election time, because it's the only time when police will not be so harsh on political parties and association of freedoms. Try to hold a political meeting now. The other day, PFF, one of the registered political parties, organized the Juma prayers. Imagine the Juma prayers at their headquarters in Katonga. It's an enclosed place, easy to protect, easy to manage. They couldn't hold them. All these political parties, even at their party headquarters. So I think the legal and political regime have made it extremely difficult for opposition political parties to thrive. Look at, for example, the financial limitations. There is the Political Parties and Organization Act that restricts funding and receiving money. That has been exacerbated by the Sovereignty Act that was recently passed. So I think opposition political parties are working under very restrictive and hard times. But we cannot give up. We will continue to use the little space available. If NBS accords us this space, for which we are very grateful, we will come and articulate what we think is good for the country. So people who are making judgment on opposition political parties are being unfair if that judgment is not made in the context of the existing legal and political framework. You only have to put it in that context to understand the challenges that we go through as opposition political parties.
Honorable Basara, we will get into that conversation, especially if you speak about the terrain itself. We also want to speak about the terrain within the political parties themselves in terms of what actually stands before them and the realities they want to achieve. Honorable Marshall, when you hear the sentiments coming in from the Honorable Basara, particularly because you come from the NRM that seemingly said they're opening up. Question is, did they open up Kubejako, like he says?
No.
Or do we actually have some room for political parties from where you stand? We have, for example, like you say, the Public Order Management Act. You have the Sovereignty Act now. You have iPod challenges as well. What is this in good spirit?
First of all, I'm not Bantu, but I'll understand Kubejako to mean let's take ourselves away from them.
Yes.
But I think that's not true. That's giving the whole picture a very narrow interpretation. First of all, my friend and brother here knows that political activity takes place. For example, the Democratic Party is an opposition party. We all know that every week they have a press conference. And we've never seen the police stopping.
It's the look from Honorable
Yes.
Basara.
And, yes, and we know that DP always, every Thursday, the president calls, and that's an opposition political party, and he talks. And that's an activity. Secondly, he's been a member of parliament, and a very able one, very articulate, and well remembered. I will still expect him back to parliament. But he knows that the parliament, the entire opposition gamut in parliament is there, the Liberal opposition is there, the whip, my friend Paul Mweru is there, and parliament is active with the opposition participating. And finally, on the issue of funding, on external funding, I don't think any country in the world would be very happy or just open up its political space. For example, if America is fighting with Iran, and you tell me that suddenly the American people discover that the Iranian government is funding the Democratic Party, to become an issue, like when they say Donald Trump had an interference with the Russians. There is no country which will allow funding and control from another state. So that is the spirit of political party. And political party is about getting power and keeping the power. And that's what I think the NRM is doing, getting power and keeping it. Just let me make a comment about the entire political space. I think if a political party organized itself, I've had his Juma prayers, all the things are subject to the regime and the intention of an activity. If the activity is within the law, we know our political parties and organization management law is very clear on how political parties should operate. If they're operating within the law, he knows we are here, we are in the studio, we are going to speak and get out And nothing will stop us. He's been a president of JEMA in all those functions, and no one has ever arrested him for that.
Honorable Alan, I want to stay with you on that particular conversation. You do say that, he will speak and you will leave, studios and nothing will happen. You have sentiments that have come in, seemingly, from the chairman of the National Resistance Movement, saying by a certain year there would not be any opposition. In the country. When you hear sentiments such as those, or conversations or quotes of the leader saying that, you have to walk a mile in their shoes in terms of what that truly means and to what extent you are looking at holding on to power, like you say.
Yes, you see, if you are going to date and you tell your girlfriend that in 2 years, you will not have any other boyfriends. I'll be the only boyfriend. And the husband, Honorable Basalira here knows that political parties are inherently created to take power and keep that power. No political party helps the other party to control power. You get power and create durability and hold it for as long as the Communist Party is holding it in China. So you cannot help another party rise. And you play within the rules. If you're playing within the rules very well and denying the other party growth, that is how it should be. We have a contract with the Ugandans for the next 5 years. The NRM will be in power. It will try to leapfrog the economy. It will try to build the infrastructure. It will try to do whatever it promised. After another 5 years, it will go back to the same people. And it will have to strangle the other political parties. Strangle not by holding their neck, but strangle them politically and make sure that they don't exist. A political party does not help another party feel good. No, that's not political competition. You must put it out of competition. And actually, if you wound up another political party, that shows that you've done very great. You've removed their ideology, you've removed their people, and you've made sure that people believe they are not relevant. It's about relevance.
Honorable Basaira, you hear words such as, frustrate them, strangle them politically. You hear heavy words such as those. And I want to find out, do you actually have a sense and feeling that all of this is being done within the legal and political frameworks that we have to frustrate a party, which is a political game, by all means, from what the Honorable Alenyo says?
Well, frustrating, strangling, outcompeting, making them extinct, ideally, is a good objective of any political, party in power. But I think the key issue should be under the law. Yeah. And you see, true. That is our cry. It's really as simple as that. If the NRM was playing to the rules, if the NRM was doing whatever it is doing under the law, nobody would be complaining. I'll give you an example about these arrests and detentions. We are not opposed to arresting anybody, by the way. But you cannot arrest somebody and detain them for 19 days. Honorable Marshall here is a lawyer. You cannot keep a person incommunicado for 19 days. If this person is arrested and taken to court, you will not see anybody complaining. So our concern, and we should be the concern of everybody, by the way, when we are making a call to respect the law, it is a call that we make for the benefit of everybody. I'll give you an example. Police, you will never find the police stopping an activity by the NRM anywhere in the country. But try having an activity as an opposition party. You'll definitely be stopped. Now, those are double standards. I've just given you an example. Imagine Juma prayers. My brother here, Marshall, is a Muslim like me. Juma prayers are very innocent. Even if what we are going to say in the Juma prayers is politics. Because talking about politics is not illegal. It's not illegal at all. So even if the intention is to discuss politics in the Juma prayers, let the prayers happen. The other day, prayers for Dr. Besigye could not happen in Rubaga. Why? Because of political forces. Now, you don't create unfair competition. So, if we decide to make the rules, let's go by the rules. It's really as simple as that. And in making these rules, we must be reminded of the fact that one time those rules will apply to us. So the call we'll continue to make is that let people be free. Let people enjoy the rights and freedoms enshrined in the Constitution. If you have a Public Order Management Act, and by the way, I did talk about it in Parliament when I was still an MP, the Constitutional Court has declared provisions under that law that require permission from the police and Constitution. But as we speak now, you will want to have a meeting and police will say, we've not given you permission. But the role of the police in public meetings is really to provide law and order. Okay? There is also this argument that you cannot have activities, it is central business district, but political parties is about visibility.
But you can't
No, it's about visibility. You are not going to tell me to hold a meeting in Mabira Forest. Because we are competing for people, we are competing for space. If I want to hold a meeting in a central business district, what should the police do to ensure that everybody's rights within the CBD are protected? Let me have my public meeting, let the businesses continue. Because the two are not mutually exclusive. I really think that the call, the bigger call, should really be about freedom. And finally, my brother says we can have press conferences, we can come on NBS talk and go. I think you are really limiting this whole concept of freedom. Political parties are really not about press conferences. We want to have freedom to go and engage with the wananchi, uninterrupted and undisturbed. So what should be my duty? My duty is to ensure that my meeting is held in accordance with the law. It should not be police to anticipate that no. What you are going to talk about is illegal and then stop me. Or it should not be for police to decide that you see that meeting is likely to, if you have that intelligence, that so and so is likely to cause chaos, that person should be arrested and then allow the meeting to proceed.
Well, Honorable Basajira, I just want to stay with you on a similar sentiment that did come in. We did have the retreat, for the National Resistance Movement at Chankwanzi. We've also had a retreat by the opposition.
Yes.
And want to talk about the next 5 years. The opposition says it is preparing. Many Ugandans want to find out what you're preparing for the next 5 years.
Well, I was not privy to the retreat. But I think one thing I need to talk about is that parties retreating, parties caucusing is a very good thing. Okay? If you find the NRM retreating in Chankwanzi or caucus, it's very good. If the opposition are retreating somewhere, it is very good because you cannot have an agenda for a country if you don't sit and discuss. So for me, I think that the idea of political parties sitting, agreeing, caucusing, lobbying, engagement is something that we should encourage, is something we should support. And I only pray that political parties are not restricted to retreats in Entebbe or Jinja or where, but are actually allowed to go in his constituency, to call a meeting there, and to engage the citizenry without necessarily being restricted.
Will be saying, now they are retreating.
You have thrown things all around. But listen, you've just said that the political parties, their hands are all tied, everything. But they're having retreats, they are having meetings, they are flying out, they are putting on their party colors. But let me just comment on about three, very briefly. You talked about torture and these arrests. But the head of state, the president, wrote against torture. The president was very clear. He wrote against torture and said, no, that's not the method. That's not the method of our party. That's not the method of our revolution. Very, very clear. I think, Honorable, you read from the president. The president has been very, very clear on those things. We don't operate through torture. We don't torture people. We don't do this. That has been from the head. And you also say that when NRM have activities, they are rare intervened. I want to tell you one. We had a march as PLU. We had a march to Kampala. We wanted to enter the central business district. The PLU was diverted. were diverted, were stopped at Lugogo. Last year when we wanted to march to Parliament, you were in Parliament, we wanted to march to Parliament, the PLU was stopped by Uganda police and we were diverted. We are diverted to Katikati. We had to tell our people, well, let's stop at Katikati. So it's not true.
And that was wrong.
Yes, it's not true that activities of NRM are not.
Those were activities of PLU or those were activities of NRM?
We are insides. We are insides. Tuko pamoja. It's called Tuko pamoja.
Trying to understand.
We are insides.
The speaker said everybody should be PLU.
About, you talked about prayers. And my bishop of Nebi, Bishop Ponso Zele, is watching, I'm sure. And it will be good to hear me say that prayers can never be stopped, President Basario. The moment prayers are not prayers for prayers, the moment prayers are not prayers for prayers, they will be stopped. The moment prayers are not prayers for prayers, they will be stopped. The moment prayers have garmented into politics, they'll be stopped. But, Honorable Basario, there's one thing I want us to address, me and you, in a very sober mood. The issue of taking political activity into the central business district, and you say it's about visibility. It's not just about visibility. We have money there. We have money there. We have investors there. We have activity. People have invested their money. People have to have their shops safe. People have to have their offices safe. And you just want us, the government, to allow people pass through. That is to leave a trail of destruction in people who don't want to do politics. If you want to do politics, if you believe in your numbers, politics is about numbers. Go to Namamve, call your people, call the press.
We're getting into the, call your people. Honorable Basadra, we are speaking about political parties. Let's speak about political parties in terms of why it remains fragmented. Because you look at political parties and you look at the numbers on the other side of the aisle, and the other day they were actually signing more MOUs with independents to just join that number. And you look at your side and we are looking at, are any other MOUs coming into play? Is the difference purely ideological, or are we looking at personalities taking over the coalition, the conversations about cooperation that perhaps could put better prospects for the opposition against the NRM?
One, fragmentation in political parties will always be there. There's no doubt about it. And you see, in this country, every sphere of every space is fragmented. And it has to do with the political leadership. I'll give you an example. There are fragments within religious groups. They are not political parties. Sports activities people are divided in sports, in the media, in civil society, everywhere. So we can describe the NRM regime as one that has perpetuated fragmentation in society. So it is not only political parties that are fragmented. Fragmentation has gone into the social sphere of this country. That's one. Number two, and where I will give the NRM credit, if I were in power, the NRM has been penetrating political parties, okay? Poaching some of their best brains, some of their... That is okay. Because we all survive through, poaching. And when they go and engage somebody from any of the opposition political parties and turn them on their side, that is absolutely okay. Because you assume that, somebody is crossing on their own free will and volition. And that's the point I was making, that if you are trying to, to make parties extinct, you are trying to strangle them, and you are doing it within the law, there's absolutely no problem. For example, when they caught somebody and they take, we will all do courting, even if it is Jema in power, we will all do courting. But as I said, it must be within the law. Now, if you are looking at fragmentation in political parties, the existing legal and political framework does not create a conducive environment for building very strong and sustainable opposition political parties. First of all, here in this country, being a member of an opposition political party is almost criminal. So you must respect any Ugandan who comes out boldly and publicly and says, I belong to an opposition political party. That person must be respected. You must respect anybody who takes a decision to say, I am going to contest for an elective office on the card of an opposition political party, be it JEMA or FDC or NOP or any of these political parties. Because the moment you make that declaration that I am an opposition politician, expect the following. Number one, arrests. Number two, detentions. Number three, and I will tell you for a fact, there is no, for example, opposition political leader in this country who has not been to jail before. Is not there. I have been imprisoned in Luzira. Besigye is there. Lukwago is there. Honorable Kyagulanyi has been there. Norbert Mao, Chairman Norbert Mao has been there. In fact, I was in prison at the same time with Mao. When I was taken to Luzira, I was taken to Nakasongola and many of these other people. So, part of the challenges we face as opposition political parties arise from the existing legal and political framework. So we need to be, as I said earlier on, if you are making judgment on us, please put the context in which we are operating in issue. Otherwise, you may assume that things are normal. Because when my brother, Honorable Masho, paints a picture, somebody may get the impression that all is right. But it is
Honorable
not.
Basho, there's a conversation that he raises, and the conversation I want, certainly the question I want to ask is, does the national resistance movement politically gain anything by making sure there is a fragmented opposition? Is that deliberate? Is it intentional? What is the true cost of being an opposition member?
Thank you very much. First of all, I think the Secretary General of NRM, Honorable Toduom Richard, owes me lunch because I've made President Basalirwa confess on TV that the NRM is doing good in some parts. But that said, I think is Muslim, JEMA, and most of his supporters are going to look to his ideology. Now, for NRM to deny him a crowd, they must look at his political party, find his source of support, and dilute it. Either intervene very well and make sure that the youth have jobs, create a good environment so that the party loses that clout. Okay? Now, NRM has been doing that very well. Very, very well. NRM has made sure that people have PDM. Even villagers in my constituency, I come from Jonam County, they have touched 1 million shillings. People never thought they would be millionaires have got 1 million shillings to do business. That alone dilutes the other political party. The roads, the government does roads. The government makes sure that there is a fair regime for investors to come and invest in the country. Now, in that regime, you cannot have a strong political party, opposition party. You can have a strong opposition party like the ANC, the oldest African political party in motion, could be strong because it's an African ideology fighting white people, and the sentiments are high. Most of those political parties, the moment the ideology for which they stand gets diluted, then they don't become strong. You cannot have a very strong political party in Uganda because most of the things are on track. The roads are being done, people are getting jobs, people are active politically, the streets are silent, people are doing, Kasese the other time we were on TV, doing night markets, the roads, everything is in order. The economy is moving. We are going towards 500 billion economy. The moment things are being corrected, if he's in JEMA and we know, the government notices that he would get a lot of support from the Muslim fraternity, the Muslims programs are created, they are made happy. By the time Basalirwa goes to the sheikhs are happy. When they see that NUP has this, it's about youth, skill the youth, create jobs for the youth, make sure that the youth have access to this, it dilutes. You cannot have a very strong political party when the party in government is responding to the people's needs. Like in China, the Communist Party knows what the people want, and it's doing what exactly the people want. So I want to tell my brother, the president of JEMA here, that, you know, you cannot just have a strong political party when the country is thriving, when the country is taking off.
Well, thank you so much, Honorable Marshall. We want to take a very short break. Topical discussion returns shortly. We're looking at political parties in the country. In what state are they in, and what does the future look like? We'll now take a very short break. Topical discussion returns shortly.
Why pay for someone else's repairs? Say goodbye to hidden costs and hello to peace of mind of a brand new start. Discover the Suzuki range of unmatched fuel-efficient and reliable options. From the iconic Jimny to the new Across Hybrid. Find the perfect blend of style and world-class efficiency. Upgrade today and enjoy 1 year of free fuel and comprehensive insurance, plus 2 years of free service and a 3-year warranty. Trade in your current car or choose financing to start driving as you pay installments. Don't wait. Visit the Suzuki showroom today or call 0800-211-033 to get started.
Color your world.
What if you could find a tranquil escape right here in the city? Welcome to Sheraton Wellness Spa, where calm meets comfort and your well-being comes first. Step into a world designed for you. A serene heaven to unwind and rejuvenate. From the moment you arrive, feel the stress melt away. Relax in our steam room. Detox in the sauna. Let every breath bring you peace. Because here, it's not just about treatments, it's about you. Your sanctuary in the heart of Kampala. Sheraton.
NBS Tonight, brought to you by
What does it take to transform 4 enclosed rooms into a seamless, sophisticated space? We go inside a remarkable interior transformation.
I had a vision of having a showroom that has a living room, a bedroom. So when I came here, my vision came to reality.
Then, residential versus commercial. Which one really delivers a stronger return? The underlying thing is to understand what return are you getting. And in Imienga, we take you inside Amethyst Residence on Tank Hill Road and explore the vision and investment case behind this new development with HK Properties.
We found that there is a demand for 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, which we wanted to fulfill.
You are watching Topical Discussion with me, Tracy Kansime. With me in studio is Honorable Asman Basaira, President Jama. We also have Marshal Alenyo, the Honorable Member of Parliament for Janam, right there. It does sound English, though. But we'll get into this conversation.
Even the name is English.
Is it the English as well?
Yes. And West Nile, where I come from.
And it's also a true English word, West Nile.
West Nile.
We're definitely talking about political parties and what the future looks like for them and for the country. Honorable Asman, I want to come back to you and ask about, is it time for what you would call the smaller opposition parties to relinquish their identity for the bigger picture in terms of opposition? Coalition taking the forte or taking the mantle. You unite. If you are lesser, you relinquish that identity, and perhaps that will yield better results. Is that something you think should be the way forward?
You make a wrong assumption or notion that political parties are based on numbers. Political parties are formed on the basis of ideas. It's not numerical strength the way you want to portray it. It's also about ideas. So if the ideas are espoused, even if I am alone, and that's why we fought for the return of multipartism. When I was guild president at Makerere, you know that we fought to restore what we call political pluralism. And that we didn't care whether the country has 30 political parties or 40 or 50, as long as people were free to belong to places of their choice. So the ideas are espoused. If we are 2 or 3, we must be free to espouse those ideas. Now, if there is a convergence, that's why along the way, there is always some minimum agreement or cooperation on some issues. Because if you look at what these political parties stand for, there are some ideas that bring us together. So we will always have a convergence on those ideas, including the NRM. You are going to find the ideas that will bring us together. But political parties, in their nature, will always have distinct features, ideas that distinguish them from the others. So when it comes to that level, you cease to begin arguing that this one is big, this one is small. The concept of numerical, especially where numerical strength can even be manufactured artificially, like in the case of Uganda. My sister will tell you that some people are not in the NRM because of ideology. They are in NRM because of survival. I know my brother here, Marshall here, might be in NRM because of ideology.
Not might.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, he's in the NRM because of ideology. But we also have people who are there because of survival. Somebody will tell you, if I'm not in NRM, I will not win this seat. Therefore, please, you forgive me. Let me go and contest.
We've also
here.
seen some of the opposition crossing. Is that on ideology change or survival?
Some it is ideology, others it is survival. Okay, because as I told you, there are reasons what. But for me, crossing, leaving this place to the other, is the reason we fought for the return of multipartism. Political parties must never be prisons. If I am uncomfortable in political party X, I should be free to join political party Y. It's really as simple as that. And you will not find me.
Doesn't that crisscrossing confuse your audience, confuse the population?
No,
But
the population also cross.
It crosses who?
Yes, the population also change preferences. They change ideology. They do. It is not about leadership. Okay.
Wouldn't Honorable Alenyo then argue that that is the activity? There is space to move from one party to another.
Yeah, but you see, as I said, that is a very small component of what we are talking about. When we are talking about political association of freedoms, they must be construed from a very broad perspective. You don't limit it to press conferences. You don't limit it to retreats. You don't limit it to media programs that NBS has availed to us, for which we will be eternally grateful. It must be beyond. I'm telling you, my sister, we must reach a level. What I'm talking about, political parties must reach a level of going to villages, conducting meetings, engaging the Wananchi without interruption from Giso, Diso, Miso, or Piso, whatever you want to do it. If we reach that level, then that is the kind of political freedom I'm talking about for political parties. Otherwise, this facade that we see at the moment, okay, and the NRM enjoys it. After Obasanjo goes to NBS and talks, he can hold a press conference.
Tracy, I need to. Tracy, I need to bring my brother in sort of a convergence, the way he said. You see, the issue is about ideology. And I'm very happy he said ideology. Me and him did university politics. And we read Karl Marx, we read. He was a guild president, I was a guild minister. We ran our race very well. Now, the issue is about ideology. The moment you touch these political parties, his Jema, Nope, there is ideological bankrupts. Ideological bankrupts. What will happen is if you give a political party a platform, most likely they'll tell you, oh, you know what, NRM is bad. NRM is bad. The president must go. People are looting. It is not a clear ideological path. For example, him as president of a party, of JEMA. If I was to give him 5 minutes and say, what is JEMA's ideological path for this country? If someone was in a political supermarket and turned over JEMA, what would he buy? If he turned over NUP, what would he buy? If he turned over NRM, he knows people's mandate, people's political ideology, historical journey, NRM, now UPDF, there is an ideological journey he can follow. That for these ones, they work with 1 inch. That is ideological clarity. JEMA, maybe, majority, first president, Islam. Nope, you look at its outsource. DP, those are historically those parties which were based on either religion or where somebody came from. NRM differs because in NRM you find former DP. We're also still waiting for him to join. I'll give him a PLU number soon. They bring everybody on board. That's why the symbol is a bus. Stop, put in, continue to a destination. The ideological dissonance between the political parties right now at play. There are 26 political parties. 26. I've had the time of reading most of the objectives. I think they're about 26. And you will find these ones say, oh, we shall deal with the peasants, oh, we shall deal with the Green Party, we shall deal with this. When you look at NRM, it will be actually implementing a consortium of all those political ideologies. So on this point of ideology, I agree. We're supposed to belong to political parties, inherently because of our ideology. Some of us, where we come from historically, opposed NRM. West Nile, Northern, etc. But the moment you get the ideological clarity, that's why me and my brother should one day share a trip to Chankwanzi, so that Honorable Basalirwa can appreciate that in those retreats, which I'm happy even the political parties have, they unpackage the growth of the country from its colonial challenge, from its liberation in the 1886 to now, and to what we face and to where we want to go. That is what a political party should do.
Your insights are much appreciated. We did speak about the opposition and, of course, the fragmentation within the opposition. I want to now put it to you about, the likes of the pressure group that is PLU within the National Resistance Movement. In terms of, and you did say, I belong to the NRM/PLU. The conversation in that particular order, and perhaps for the clarity of our audience, do you want to tell us who exactly is leading the next 5 years of the National Resistance Movement/PLU? Because is it a political party? Will it remain a political pressure group? Just for the clarity of our audience, the next 5 years and what and who will be leading?
Thank you very much. I think elections were very clear. The candidate for the NRM was President Yoweri Museveni, who won landslide in the 70s. Now, of course, the mandate has been given to the NRM to lead for the next 5 years. PLU, and I want to thank the Secretary General, the General Secretary of PLU, Honorable Fadil, who sent me to this show. PLU is in a corner of the whole room, only looking at the patriotic heartbeat of Uganda. The patriotic heartbeat of Uganda. It's not a political party. It is an inducement that people become more patriotic. If you go to Tanzania, you see the way they do their politics. They have the Umoja Vijanas, which come into a party, the Green Party in the US. In a political party, they can get in a mood which induces the party to act either better in a specific direction or not. Now, the NRM has the PLU, which is within the NRM to induce patriotism, led by the able chairman, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, that we become more patriotic. We don't think about me and him, where we came from. We think about Uganda. We try to make sure that in everything we do, whether it's a football match, we go and support the Cranes. Whether you are teaching as a teacher, you don't think about your stomach. You say, for the country. We want that patriotism that if something happened to a Ugandan soldier in Somalia, even him in Ijema feels sad about it. That's why PLU is not specifically aligned to only people who believe maybe in NRM. No, we even have people who are in opposition who subscribe to PLU and they're happy with it. But PLU parades Umoja in 2026 elections. We all campaigned for the president, we campaigned for NRM flag bearers, and it gets its political instructions from the NRM party. That is the PLU. But PLU is just a dose for patriotism. That's it.
Interesting. Many would have argued that the word patriotism was originally NRM, that they're seemingly the parent, so like the child teaching the parent how to parent. Exactly.
The child is saying, you can focus on your economic growth, you can focus on the health care, you can focus on this. For us, your children, we want people to love this country because we've seen the fight against corruption. My brother here will tell you, in Tanzania, people were so patriotic that if you try to give a Tanzanian policeman money, he would not allow to take your money when the photo of President Nyerere was looking at him. He would say, Ngoja. He would turn the photo of Nyerere the other side, take the kamane, and then turn the photo of Nyerere back. That is the level where Ugandans should reach and say, no. This is our country. We belong to one country. Because, Tracy, there is no northern Uganda in the Constitution. There is no southern Uganda. There is no western Uganda. There is no eastern Uganda. There is the Republic of Uganda. And that's the one which PLU tries to bring out.
Well, Honorable Basarira, the question is, can Uganda's opposition realistically challenge the national resistance movement, at least in 2031 without greater cooperation and coordination? What does the future of cooperation look like within the opposition?
I think before I get there, permit me to make a comment on 3 things. Number one, under our legal framework, you cannot form a political party on the basis of tribe or religion. I'm saying this because there was an attempt by my brother to portray Jem as Muslim. That is illegal, that's unconstitutional. In fact, I remember in 2005, I and the late Hussein Chanjo, when we went to register Jema, an attempt was made to bring that argument, but they failed to produce evidence. So I thought I would make that very clear. You cannot form a political party in Uganda on the basis of tribe, on the basis of religion. Although in other countries, it is possible. You have heard of Christian democracy in Germany and most of these other countries. Number 2, there is a difference between ideology and a manifesto. When you talk about making roads, fighting corruption, blah, 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 that can only be a campaign manifesto. And you see, when the NRM campaigns on a manifesto and they get elected on that manifesto, its implementation becomes a responsibility for all of us. Because now there will be the party in what? Power. In power. So that cannot be an ideology of the NRM. Number 3, I will tell you that there is no political party in this country that does not have an ideology. The only problem is for us to understand what an ideology is. In this country, we have uni-ideological parties. We have multi-ideological parties. I'll give you an example. There is a party here called Uganda Federal Alliance. Uni-ideological. Okay? Yes. Pursuing what? Federalism. That is the ideology. We have ecological party. Led by my brother, Honorable Muhammad Insedeko. The on matters of ecology. You have the Conservative Party here. You have the Justice Forum, JEMA, which I believe in pursuit of justice as our ideology. So I take exception of the statement made that political parties here are ideologically bankrupt. I think they are not. Okay. All political parties here are anchored on ideology. The only difference is that they don't have much platform to articulate their ideology. The platform is very limited, as I said. How many people will have the space on NBS? Political party leaders, very few. Now, getting to your question, I believe, and I'm a firm believer, in opposition, cooperation, and unity. I'm a firm believer, especially in light of what is happening in the country. If we don't agree on some minimum aspects, we are really doomed. The NRM, to use the words of Mr. Museveni, will eat us like sambusa. You remember when he said, I'll chew them like samosa. And I'll tell you, Tracy, in my village where I come from, Bugodo village, in Bujiri district, there is a polling station near my home. Now, that polling station, if it is election time, because it's very deep, I'm the one who takes responsibility of deploying agents for the various opposition candidates. I take it unto myself. Because we don't have enough human and financial resources to manage an electoral process across the country. Now, if you don't work together, and you think, for us, we are big, we cannot work with the bursary very small, what will happen in Bugodo polling station? What will happen? So I really believe that we must have minimum working arrangements without necessarily undermining our institutional autonomy and identity. And I think that's very important. So, moving forward, I think, and I'm glad I'll tell you for a fact, there are discussions going on around that. And some activities are happening in a joint platform. The other day, I'm aware, for example, the joint platform has written to meet the Speaker of Parliament, to meet the Chief Justice, to meet religious leaders, to meet Human Rights Commission. In fact, the other day, leaders of opposition political parties had an engagement with the chairperson of the Human Rights Commission. We will engage all the other stakeholders. So I want to agree with those who think that it is important as opposition political parties to have minimum working framework. We should identify issues that, that unite us, that bring us together, begin engaging on them, even engaging the political space as it were, because as individuals, I will tell you, as individuals, we could be strong as individuals if we were working in a normal political environment. We would be strong. But the environment is not very normal. You are not so sure where you will be detained, for how long. You will not. Okay, you are not sure. You will not be detained. No, you are not sure whether you will not be a Mwanga Chifumbi, or you will not be an Elias Lukwago, or you will not be Honorable Kyagulanyi Inekizero, or Honorable Semuju Inekizero. You are not sure. So, in this environment, our strength is in our collective, in collective action, in togetherness, in unity. And for me, that's the goal. That's why JEMA, historically, has been part of all engagements aimed at having unity. We were in IPFC, we were in IPC, we were in TDA, we were in People Power. We've been, and that has been our call. So I only hope that our colleagues will be able to appreciate the bigger picture so that we can be able to work together.
Thank you so much, Honorable Basaira. Over to you, Honorable Alenyo, as we wind up.
So for us, now ours is to make sure that that cooperation is not, it doesn't achieve much.
Yes.
That is politics. Because if you see your if you see your opponent is trying to legally organize themselves, yours is to make sure that you disorganize that unit.
Yeah, but you disorganize peacefully and
legally.
Exactly.
Of course, within the facets of the law. But I just want one thing is, I think the government has created environments where those political parties can come together. I think that one you can't fault government. You've been in IPFC, you've been in all those things, you've been in your retreats. I think the political parties have a time, you parliament, you speak, etc. So yeah, I think the government has not done very badly, as my friend would say, on the issue of allowing political parties room to cooperate and do their stuff and put on their party colors. Yeah.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Honorable Marshal Alenyo from Jonam County and Honorable Osman Basaira, who is the Jema President, for joining us on topical discussion. We have been looking at the state of politics and political parties in the country, wondering what the future holds. And these gentlemen have done justice to that conversation. My name is Tracy Kansime. Have a good morning.
This year's maiden grand gospel show is the Mascot Live in Very Well concert. 14th of August 2026 is going to be the Mascot Live, bounding us with the great gospel news at Dendere Cultural Center. Entrance is 20 and 50K VIP. A depot goes for 2 million. Get your ticket today from carrytickets.com. For more information, call 0702-852-568. Sponsored by NBS Music, Sanyuka Afromobile, Jeff Godwin, Newman Foods, QC Restaurant, Pal Automotives, Crown Japan Catway, and Stream Road Safaris.
Looking for a household cleaner that truly delivers? Meet Apple, the antibacterial cleaning powder for bathrooms and surfaces. Apple is formulated for 3-dimensional cleaning. It's a sour agent that rubs off dirt and stains, a germicide that kills 99.9% of household germs, and it works with water to wash everything away, leaving your bathrooms and ceramics hygienic and sparkling clean. Keep hygiene standards without breaking the budget. Switch to Apple today. Apple is available at supermarkets and convenience stores countrywide.
Kambera ngweri gwete kwa mchisha ishe watu yaye kwa esta wangura school fees ngeni na hateja shana mashemero magonka emuyeni mo eberewo beni gasta nagaga nita nosta manana 0 hash kusha shuro mwana school fees komanya omusheri zagwije wanje ninga nchaka nigwasa kuzo wawe mwebare munonga.
You wanna make tasty food and sing. You wanna do that dancing still. Candaling and no ya night. Sika de buto one night. Nailo akro ya sing. Sika de buto one night. Candaling and no ya night.
Cook better, sell better with Nile Healthy Cholesterol Free Cooking Oil and non-sticky wheat flour. Nile, yenyabo.
NBS Tonight, brought to you by
What does it take to transform 4 enclosed rooms into a seamless, sophisticated space? We go inside a remarkable interior transformation.
I had a vision of having a showroom that has a living room, a bedroom. So when I came here, my vision came to reality.
Then, residential versus commercial. Which one really delivers a stronger return? The underlying thing is to understand what return are you getting. And in Nimienga, we take you inside Amethyst Residence on Tank Hill Road and explore the vision and investment case behind this new development with HK Properties.
We found that there is a demand for 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, which we wanted to fulfill.
I'm Dr. Lawrence, Vice Chancellor of Victoria University. Right now, the world is being rewritten, and I want to show you exactly how. Artificial intelligence has already changed how we work, how we learn, and how we live. It's not coming, it's here. And the question every parent should be asking is your child's university moving with it or being left behind? Take education. This used to be the classroom. Chalkboards, rows of desks, one voice at the front of the room. Now, this is the classroom at Victoria University. AI tutors, real-time feedback, every student learning at the speed of their own brilliance. Healthcare is next. This is how diagnosis used to work. Slow, manual, guesswork. This is how our students train today. AI-powered diagnostics, simulation labs, predicting illness before symptoms even appears. This is the future of medicine, and it's being taught right here in Uganda. It doesn't stop there. The way we bank, the way we farm, the way we build, AI is quietly rewriting every single one. And East Africa cannot afford to watch from the sidelines. So if you're a parent and you want your son or daughter to lead, not follow, this new world, ask yourself, where should they be? At Victoria University, our students don't just learn about AI, they build with it every single day. Victoria University is not just adapting to the age of AI, we are leading it. The leading university in artificial intelligence in Uganda and across East Africa. The future is already being built. The only question is, will your child help build it? Victoria University, where Africa's AI future begins. Apply today.
tricolor flag tells a story. Every anthem stirs a memory. Every Independence Day reminds us of the courage, sacrifice, and unwavering spirit that shaped a nation. This 79th India Independence Day, celebrate with Radio Wala by sharing your personalized Independence Day message across Radio Wala, Next Radio, and NBS TV, reaching thousands across Uganda and beyond. Join us in honoring the spirit of freedom while showcasing your brand as part of this meaningful celebration. Special India Independence Day advertising packages start from 1 million Uganda shillings. Reserve your spot today. Call or WhatsApp 0774 290 800. Radio Wala. Let's play.
NBS Television brings you two unforgettable dramas. Mondays and Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Step into Honorables, where every laugh hides a secret, every conversation has a movie, and behind the doors of a bustling Kampala bar, politics and ordinary lives collide. Then on Wednesday and Thursday at 8 p.m., it's Socialites, a world of fame, friendship, ambition, and betrayal, where every post has a price and every choice can change a life. 2 gripping stories, 4 unforgettable nights. Honorables, Socialites, only on NBS Television. Always.
So many times in life I've had this question about fear versus regret.
Yeah.
So things that I fear in life certain times stop me from doing certain things. But then the question I ask myself that in 5 years or maybe 3 days or 10 days later, what will I regret?
Yeah.
And the regret will be not doing it. So that's the exciting part, that you let go because now I don't want to regret it.
So
And
then you delegate?
You delegate. You delegate, you empower, you trust, and sometimes you actually create belief in others to do it.
Yeah.
And remember, I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
It's also recognizing that I am not perfect, and so I don't expect that perfection is really going to go. And one of the things that I believe in as my personal mantra is to hunt for progress rather than perfection. And that's been very useful.
So amidst that fear, because it's not just for you, and you say something, I'm also a recovering perfectionist.
Yeah.
So I like my things to be a certain way, and sometimes I like to delegate, but I understand what it feels to trust somebody that they will do exactly what you would have done. But talk to us about how you build that confidence in a team, because you know that you have to let go. How do you build that confidence to ensure that they can do what you envision would be done?
Right. So like yourself, Dr. Shamim, I used to have a friend. He used to be my mentor, and this is going back 2 decades ago.
Yeah.
One of the most profound learning I got from him is the day a leader moves away from measuring output to measuring outcomes, communicating outputs to communicating outcomes. When people have clarity on the outcome, that is the best time to trust them and let them go.
A very good morning. My name is Victoria Sabatane. It's a pleasure to be here with you this morning on the breakfast meeting. Now let's get started and talk education. That's where we start our breakfast meeting this morning. A university degree is an important achievement. I found myself rehashing some of my own achievements, but increasingly students and parents want to know what comes after graduation. Can you get a job? Can you build a business? Do you have the skills employers members actually need? Now, as Cavendish University, Uganda marks its 15th graduation ceremony, and 18 years in Uganda, we're looking at how universities can bridge that gap between what happens in the classroom and what happens in the world of work. Joining us this morning is Associate Professor Odutayo K. Osunson, Deputy Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Affairs at Cavendish University, Uganda. Professor, welcome.
Thank you very much, Victoria.
I would like to start off, and maybe you can give us a bit of an update as to what's been happening at Cavendish. Outside of the graduation, I know that last year you graduated just over 900 students. I think that you recently just launched your, is it a hackathon or something like that? And you've had several achievements happening throughout the year. Could you perhaps share and give us a bit of an update? What's been happening at Cavendish University lately?
Thank you very much, Victoria. Thank you for having me here again.
Absolutely.
It's always a privilege being here. A lot has been happening at Cavendish University. It's a hive of activities. And as you said, the hackathon, we have a variety of things that we roll out for our students and, of course, the Cavendish University community. As you said, we've been emphasizing, as always, the understanding that education is not just about degrees, but it's actually the ability for one to be employable. And so at Cavendish, we've emphasized that, and we continue to equip our students, even before they get to the workplace, to already have a level of experience to engage the workplace.
On top of the graduation, Cavendish University is celebrating 18 years within Uganda, which is also quite a milestone of growth. So could you take us back to when it was first established within Uganda? How has the mission evolved since?
Yeah, Cavendish University, as you must know, is a private university, a leading private university in Uganda, which was established in 2008. And as you said, Cavendish turns 18 this year, so we are officially adults, if we put it that way.
Yes.
And of course, over the years, Cavendish has emphasized three major pillars, which our mission stands on, is the emphasis on entrepreneurship, employability, and ethical leadership. And over the years, we've had graduates of over 12,000, and we believe each one of them have carried that trait out into the world.
When you're looking at the students that you've produced over the past 18 years, what, in terms of the students' need now compared to then, has evolved over time? What are some of the changes that you've seen in the world of work, and as well as in terms of equipping your students as well?
Actually, there's a variety. Of course, over the years, even the nature of learners have changed. Traditionally, we have students who just finished high school, coming to university, and they stay on campus, live in the hostels, but that has totally evolved. We have a variety of students now. We have people who are working and they want to study. We have people who are actually out of the country and they also want to tap into the quality of education Cavendish has. So our programs has been broadened. The mode of teaching has varied. Now we have distance learning, which we've had over the years, but it's also enhanced. We also have the weekend programs, and definitely we have the campus-based. But we do understand that there are different strands of students that we cater to, and we have different programs, different modes of teaching, and approaches to cater to each one of their needs as the years has evolved. And we continue to see how much more can we improve the quality of our teaching and giving our students hands-on experience, not just theoretical, so that as they get into the workplace, it's a seamless transition. A big chunk of our graduates now, we try to emphasize, even before they graduate, several of them already get employment, several of them have already mapped out the pathway to what they want to achieve in the workplace, and we put a lot of emphasis not just on them achieving and creating impact, but also actually doing it on an ethical basis, because that is very important to us.
As you've said that, students do evolve and you get different types of students at every time, at every point, and as well as the world changes, as the world evolves, students are much more interested in different things. 15 graduation ceremonies later, is there something different about this particular graduation that's coming up? Is it in the students? Is it in who is graduating? What are those key differences that you're seeing in terms of your students every single graduation ceremony?
Every graduation is different because it brings something different. The group of students graduating are unique. Every year we have a variety of students. One thing we of course are very proud about is first generation graduates, people who actually, they're the first in their families to actually set foot in the university. So we have a variety. This year, as always, we have close to the number we had last year, but also we have people who are quite already distinguished in their field, but they felt Cavendish is the place that they will come back to study. So we have several people from the government, MPs, who are graduating, and this is something we are very privileged to have. Then at the same time, we have students who are from the diaspora, who also will actually be coming to celebrate the graduation. So from as far as the Middle East, North America, Europe, and that again, so the texture is always different every year. And we have a variety of curated activities that we always roll out each graduation, to put it that way.
Now, we all know that a degree sometimes doesn't automatically mean or translate into a particular job or employment. Where do you think the biggest gap really exists between university and the work of world, education and the workplace? What are those gaps really that you have noticed that also Cavendish has already found the answer for?
Yeah, the biggest gap, which I think is quite evident to everyone now, is that a lot of employers always understand that there's a gap between the competence of the graduate and what really is required in the workplace. That is one. Another is the fact that there are simply no jobs. And so Cavendish University, first and foremost, we emphasize employability, and that's why we intentionally try to equip our students. Apart from the regular classes, the courses, we have a careers and employability office that caters to helping them understand how to write their CVs, how to dress, how to present themselves, how to engage in the workplace. And then we also emphasize entrepreneurship, because we know it's not a guarantee that you'll be employed. And our aspiration for each one of our graduates is to eventually be an entrepreneur. You can start the early days to get some experience under your belt and then ultimately become an entrepreneur. And so we even have an entire center for innovations and entrepreneurship, where students, even while they're still students, can try to develop ideas, concepts from what they got in class and try to refine it, even possible accelerate it to actually make it a solid, viable business by the time they graduate.
I mean, you have absolutely placed considerable emphasis on industry partnerships. As you're already saying, you are able to boast of students from different walks of life altogether. Why should universities be so closely connected or linked to industries and some of these companies that perhaps your students will be working with?
Yeah, it's very important because it's a symbiotic relationship. The industry feeds off us and we feed off the industry, because many of our lecturers, facilitators are industry experts. They work in the field, they have the experience. And so we felt there should be that seamless transition. When the student graduates and goes into the workplace, there's no need for additional training or trying to learn the ropes. And so, as I emphasized, we have the careers and employability. Even within the faculties, we have the faculty advisory panels, who are distinguished individuals in different fields, who also speak into the curriculum development, into the students. They act as mentors. And so we just want to get that relationship as solidified as possible, because we're partners and we benefit from each other.
Absolutely. Could you maybe give me some insight as to what are some of the employers actually saying they need? I'm pretty sure our viewers would be happy to know, so that they can know how to respond, they can know what to study, they can know who to go to, and of course recommending Cavendish. What are employers out there saying? What is it that they need actually?
Yeah, now we're in the age of AI, and you cannot escape AI. So even in the workplace, AI is actually there. And one of the things we encourage our students is the emphasis on artificial intelligence. Now, employers, some of the skills that artificial intelligence cannot replace are some of the things that employers are really looking at. Basic communication skills, ethics. You know, in fact, there is the famous ASK model, where we look at knowledge, skills, and attitude. And of course, with knowledge, you know how to do it. Skills, you can get your hands dirty. But when it comes to attitude, that is what differentiates a graduate from any other person. And so we try to emphasize these core skills in the workplace: how to work with people, how to network, how to collaborate, because no matter how good you are, you will have to work with people. And so a lot of things AI can do, But we believe that apart from your qualification, the human dimension is very important for one to thrive and succeed within the workplace.
I think one of the things that after COVID, a lot of things obviously fell online. And we got even deeply rooted within the AI and just technological advances that came even after that. And I know that Cavendish is introducing e-internship. I don't know if many people have heard of that particular statement, e-internship. Is this an internship online, and how possible is that? Is that a thing? Please tell us a bit about that.
It is a thing. Again, maybe I should give you a background. You know, Cavendish is very technology enabled.
Yes.
And so almost about 50% of our students are online. And they come from different parts of the world, over 42 nationalities. And so internship is a big part of our education system, because we want students to get that experience. So we do have an e-internship platform, and part of that e-internship is actually overseen by the Careers and Employability Office. And the whole idea is that the students don't have to be physically present on campus to actually experience and engage in internship. And so the internship platform has a variety of activities on it, which students benefit, which they use to engage real-life employers. Along with that, we have, of course, Ripen, and I believe Cavendish University is one of the few universities on the continent that has a partnership with Ripen, where students also get hands-on experience. But the interesting thing is that they actually do real-life project and work